Hi, welcome back to Cooking with Mark. This is seasons 3. I've been really busy lately. I've done a lot of work around the house, made my house into a smart home. Today we're going to be making chicken corn chowder. What you're going to need is a can of cream of celery, a can of cream of chicken, a can of cream corn, 2 cans of diced potatoes, bullion seasoning for flavoring, and a half a pound of tenderloin chicken diced up into little tiny cubes. Now, if you wanted more chicken, just add a pound. I cut this down to a smaller amount because it's just for me. So here we go. Now, what I normally do is I take a half a stick of butter and put it in the crock pot and let that. I know you don't need that much. I always put a half a stick. It just gives it the flavor that I'm looking for. And then just drop your chicken in there. You're just going to brown it enough to make it a little moist and tender. Once your chicken gets a little brown, then you're going to add everything else to it. Now, if you wanted to do, I normally do a pound of chicken, but I'm making a few different items today, so I didn't want to over freeze my freezer. Now, if you're going to add any seasonings, this would be the time to add your seasonings. I'm going to add a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of garlic salt, a little bit of garlic powder. This is all seasoned to taste, so if you're trying to figure out how much I put in, it's really up to your discretion. And then I'm going to add a little bit of celery salt. And a little bit of sea salt. Now the chicken is all set. So now we're going to add everything else to it. I was adding cornstarch to give it the thickness. And then one day I tried the cream soup, and that gave it the thickness that I was looking for. So I changed my recipe to that. This is a very quick recipe. It literally, you don't need to put it in a crock pot. You can put it on the stove. It would be done in about 15 minutes because all you're doing is just frying up the chicken first. Everything else is Now, as far as your everything else is already pre-cooked. As far as your chicken bouillon flavor, add about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons, maybe 3. That just gives it that chickeny flavor. Now, the last ingredient that you want to add to this, which makes the essence of the chicken corn chowder, aside from the chicken and the corn, is your pepper. And I don't think people realize just how much the pepper actually gives to the chicken corn chowder, but it actually is the true flavor of the chicken corn chowder. It's the black pepper. Now you want to add about 2 teaspoons to your chicken corn chowder. I use the crock pot just because it's easier to do everything in it. I can saute in it, I can steam in it, I can make a soup in it, I can stew in it, I can pressure cook in it. So this pretty much does everything. I really love the way that this crock pot actually works for me. You're going to let that sit for a little bit, and we'll be back with you in just a few minutes. So when you get done, your chicken corn chowder should look something like this right here. Now I figured out how much this is actually going to make, and 2 of these in one of these containers actually makes 5 servings. And I will tell you, it is delicious. It's the it's the cream of chicken and the cream of celery that gives it the essence. Not to take away from the pepper or the chicken or the corn, but instead of adding chicken broth or adding cornstarch or flour to thicken it up, if you add the cream of chicken and cream of celery, that gives you the flavor that you're looking for, and you're not adding all that extra work to it because you're not adding extra water. You're just simply adding the cans to it. This was Cooking with Mark. We just watched chicken corn chowder. This will be up on my Facebook page and on my YouTube and also on my Twitter. As you all are well aware by now, my website has been shut down. It was taken over by another company overseas, and their bandwidth was so horrible I could not upload any photos or any videos. So I canceled the account. It's now just strictly on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me on one of those venues. Thank you for watching Cooking with Mark, Season 3. Have a good day now.